So, I'm very excited. I'm legit looking forward to both recons trying to battle out for the main dominance before the other people move up. I'm also interested in seeing people actually support top, because in this map it can prove quite useful. Going live, second map. For the people that might still be a bit confused. Former Diamond Busters are in the lead. They have a 1-0 lead from winning Oil Stain. So this map either decides it for them, or if Panko Manko is winning, we're gonna head to Tarmac afterward. We're looking at pretty much the same lineup on FDB, whereas Crystalline now is the support, switching it up with Mugi, who's now the assault.
Jinra is taking a bit defensive positions right now.
Yeah, Defrog is actually in the alley, so he's going against my predictions, trying to establish his... Oh, I was about to say he jumps through a Jinrai, but it was wrong there. He's coming into the Ghost, just jumping around on top of it. The objective pretty much is secure at the moment. But Crystalline goes down, and Wahaha is not actually close to the Ghost right now. He's still in the top levels. Ooh, he jumped right over Defrog. Not that he manages to pull it off. It could have been his chance to actually take down the most aggressive chain here. And that would have given him a bit momentum to carry on and maybe get a second kill for some points. It's pretty clear. Defrog softened up and killed 2 people. Wahaha, bringing it to the point I was about to say. He is really fast. And he is going for the idea of at least having dominance over the lane he is at as soon as possible. Right now he's not really pushing that much, but I can see it coming, and yeah, here it is. He's just going. He jumps right past the trains into the most narrow path he could take and manages to just pick up Mugi from behind. Perfect timing and perfect execution on that. He didn't even get stuck once either.
Wow, in a weird spot right now. Jinra is taking defensive again, but getting flanked.
Crystalline even didn't think that Olio would be coming up from the side. He was just staring down the main lane.
Ooh, Waha gets a good point, Olio. Zippy catches him out though.
Not sure why he didn't turn around immediately after phasing through to phase through a second time just to confuse Zippy, because that would have been his chance. But maybe let's look at the ping here. Well, the ping is not really in favor, but it's not bad either, so otherwise I would have said that maybe the ping made it look for him like he phased through, but he didn't turn around or something. So the Ghost is on side from the former Diamond Busters, so I'm pretty sure Zippy's gonna hold that down. Defrog is going for the dead rush
with
here.
the shotgun rush.
First dead is positioned.
Zippy heard him and got that kill though.
So Mugi and Crystalline are pinned upstairs because the dead is right downstairs. Defrog is just waiting for the right time for them to come down there. So they have no choice but to go the other way or kill Defrog. But it seems like the dead went... No, the dead is still there.
Mugi almost got both of them there, only with 4 HP now.
Defrog is out of the match for this round, which means the dead pack is diffused. So Crystalline has the opportunity to go downstairs the other way. Doesn't seem like he's interested in doing so though. As we can see, he still has a smoke left as well. He might be able to make use of this if he catches
He's gonna drop
Olio.
the ZR. Chooses to keep the S around. Oh man.
So Olio has equipped himself with a Ghost. He's gonna try to out Crystalline now. Not really needed before he's in range. They pretty much just saw him peek for a moment. Though he still can pull it off. Olio's just at 4 points of health. One single bullet and he's down. And Zippy is in not the greatest condition either. I don't really think that falling back too far is the way to go. He has to take the
He's
initiative.
trying to place himself between the cap and the ghost. He
Well,
probably
the
wants
other
to time
cap
it
is
out this
still
time.
open now.
You're gonna push him now. He's gonna time it out? Nope, they get the frag last second.
Ah, a little problem on my end. There's no second cap zone for each team. I kind of just saw two red arrows next to each other, so I mispercepted this. It's been a while since I've actively played Transit.
Yeah.
Very close round indeed. It was very close to the timeout. And both of them could have decided this for themselves because the health was low on both sides. So let's see how aggressively Deep Frog goes into it. It's always worth looking at that first. He is kind of just stuck in the middle now. He's not really moving. Wahaha! Going for the southern side, past the train. About to run into Deep Frog here.
He spots him.
Yep. Deep Frog actually goes down. And Olio quickly trades this by checking out the situation. Now Zippy is slowly utilizing himself on top of the ghost to make sure that it won't be touched for a while.
Crystal and Mugi are pretty defensive right now.
Yeah, they're close to falling into the same habit that happened yesterday with Nice Guys, where they are a bit too defensive in this case. Because Wahaha, he has been going pretty strong with his aggressive push, at least towards the center, to get an overview. But there's not much you can do if he doesn't have his teammates backing him up.
Yeah.
Olio is slowly pushing in to come in from the side or from behind. He's about to get visual on both of them. Do they seem to realize?
Zippy flanks with the train.
Yeah, I don't think Mugi was actually expecting Olio to just peek around that corner. He was too focused on Zippy just popping up from behind the train here.
Was well played.
Indeed. Olio seems very on the ball of getting the sneaky situations in here. Because this is not the first time he's been coming up from unexpected corners and positions. So going back to a brief point update, FDB, rocking it with 2 sergeants and a corporal, are facing 3 privates because none of them actually managed to get past 2 points so far. Very snowbally in my opinion.
Definitely.
But not crushing
Scorley's
it.
gonna place him behind firepower. Gonna be a little hard.
So Deep Frog is just quickly dropping to debt.
Zippy catches wow. The shotgun. Zippy's full leaned. They get through off.
Mugi
That's
is
server side or client side?
I'm actually not sure. I sadly did not look at it this time. I was watching if Deep Frog is gonna have a successful debt rush, but he just locked down the stairs again.
Blind dat. Didn't get anything.
Zippy is holding the ghost, I think, the 3rd time this match. He seems to be the intel man. Mugi now ending...
Deep Frog jumps straight over Crystal in that corner.
Yeah, Mugi is just ending Deep Frog's rampage here. And now it's down to Zippy, Olio. And now it's just to only Olio.
Oh no.
Just getting the drop onto Mugi here, who was softened up beyond belief. Very close rounds all the time. It's usually up to 1 or 2 people to actually pull this around. And even if it's 2 people, the health difference is so minor. It just seems like NSF always has that, you know, that one little bit that gives them the right time, the right moment to just end it for their favor. So we got Deep Frog being very aggressive towards the ghost again, going to the other side, immediately taking a nice comfy spot on the northern side of the train in the enemy spawn. Now they're all holed in, like Panko Manko is carefully trying to push, Crystally not expecting Deep Frog to be there at all. But they're falling into the same thing the nice guys did. They're not really pushing out. They're just holding. Zippy constantly going for the ghost for the intel, and all you constantly on his positions of trying to find a way to flank.
Yeah, they're not taking enough initiative in this. Giving full map control to former Diamond Busters.
Ooh, they quickly just wiped them out there. It's just unfortunate because, as we discussed in the interview yesterday after the match, Transit is really not... It's really not the best time when you're already in a bad place yourself, especially now because it's 6-0, to get defensive.
SRS and Olio. Yeah, it's a map that you really want to have some control on. Defensive plays on it kind of difficult. Olio swaps with Deep Frog. Deep Frog every kind of SRS.
I'm just waiting for something to happen here. I'm really hoping that they have a plan now. They're still in the spawn for the most part. Wahaha is just giving the intel. It's a good start, but even then, they have to get out there. They have to do something to throw them off because NSF is just predicting the same behavior. They're already surrounding the several entries of like going upstairs here. The smokes won't be stopping Zippy too. Zippy just going directly in the face with Crystal Lee, not stopping. Sounds like Olio's doing the quick switch here for the SRS. Suppressing.
Deep Frog with the SRS. He's trying to hit him through the wall, I think.
Oh, so they switched.
He got on top of the train. He's trying to fire through the wall.
So one choke point has been effectively shut down, which is the main stairs, because Deep Frog now put down a dead pack. Now they're coming in as a funnel, like all three of them, or oh, they're just two by now. My bad.
Moogie's just trying to hold a flank right now.
Ooh, Deep Frog's reaction was very delayed. He's kind of just panicking now, going down to and finishing it off. That was weird, because he was looking right at the entrance. Wahaha jumped in, but he didn't move. It's as if he didn't see him. He didn't see anything at all. And it seems like maybe my panic was misperceived and he was just trying to do a 360 or something, given on the response Wahaha wrote. Either way, seems like they have one round for the favor of them, giving them 2 corporals.
Now they have a little more variety in their weapon choice, but probably not enough. It's the GQC he really wants it though.
So Deep Frog is just completely kicking it off by being aggressive as per usual. He's down to very low health.
Is holding the SRS.
Well, maybe they discussed it because of the spawn being better for taking the stairs, because there's only one stairway that is a main one, because the other side has a stairway you can exit two ways off, like left or right. Yeah. And Olio has been eyeing the main stairs for a good while now before moving up forward. Testing a grenade here. Deep Frog has put down a dead pack at the ladder, so he has been taking out one spot they could be coming from. And with them pushing up with the Ghost once more, they also get invaluable intel that might just decide the round for them to win the second map as well. It is a tough spot, because okay, there's one dead that went off. Olio's trying his luck with the SRS, quickly switching to the Tachi to give more suppression, then changing side. Ooh. It is now down to a 1v3. All 3 of them are terribly softened up, but Zippy just pretty much pancakes into the elevator.
That was a good shot at.
Just pancaked into the elevator and the situation is dealt with. One last suicide to end it all. Deep Frog couldn't handle the win. But yeah, we're through with the second map. Former Diamond Busters taking Transit, meaning that they also win this match. They will be moving into the next bracket, which will be... Let's have a quick look. Here we go. Former Diamond Busters will move up against the winner between True Love Gang Gore Cops and Uncertain Love Triangle, which is also, conveniently enough, our next match.
Oh man. Got a little biased here on Gore Cop now.
Yeah, the problem is, they're basically they're stealing our name, TLG, and just slapping a sub name on there. The fact that they're taking the heart, the heart as which you established as our clan tag. I'm gonna try my best to not be biased. I'm just kidding. It's gonna be fine. But all in all, we should first move on to the interview before we start talking about the next match here. Let me just try to get a hold of, everyone. We got Crystalina Mugi here already. Dragging him in. I'm gonna keep you suppressed for just a moment until I know who's here. Oh, they're all on their mumble actually, so let's just all get them in here.
Moved in from Jinrei by producer San. Froch moved in from
Suppressing
NSF
one by
producer
one.
San.
Unsuppressing
from
one.
NSF by producer San. Zippy moved in from NSF by producer San.
So with that being the second match that has been ending after 2 maps.
I
First of
keep
all,
hearing I was moved by producer San and unsuppressed. Okay, hold on. Yeah, everything's fine now.
okay. So after this being the second match that ended after 2 maps, let's start with the winners. FDB, how are you feeling?
Nice.
Okay, right to the point. Anything else you want to say to describe how you're feeling, or is that literally it? Okay. So, looking at Panko Manko, how are you feeling?
We're great. We're great. No, I'm just kidding. Now we honestly coming in, we knew that these guys are, at least for me, the way I view things, they're honestly top 5 current players of the community. Period. So we knew it wasn't going to be easy. I'm actually really proud of what we managed to accomplish on Oil Stain, though. I think it was a nice start. We managed to give them a run for their money, at least. But yeah, then it was Transit. Personally, I don't know about anyone else, but personally for me, Transit is, I hate Transit. I just suck at it. But we tried our best, and they played an awesome game. They knew their positions. They got to key points of the map before us. Most of the time, at least. I was flanked several times, and I didn't expect it. So they're at the top of their game for sure. They got years of experience, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
But despite the loss, I'm kind of happy with our performance. I could have done more. I wish I could have done more, but yeah, it's just how it goes. So yeah, congratulations to I forgot the name of their team. God damn it.
FDB, former Diamond Busters.
FDP, yeah. What an anticlimactic moment. But yeah, congratulations to you guys. You guys pulled off an amazing game.
Thanks. Good game.
Before we continue with other players or any other thoughts, I would like to point out that I personally don't think, people might just set me on fire for saying this, but I personally don't think that all 3 of the people would be in the top 5 players, because with how things have been going, many people being inactive a lot and maybe still a bit rusted up, it is actually not that clear who is the actual top player at the moment.
Oh, but for
Deep
me,
Frog is the top 5.
For me, Frog is number 1.
Frog's pretty far out.
Olio is close. Olio is for sure in the top 5. I mean, I faced Olio when I face him in typical Friday night scrims, etc. Those kinds of matches. He's not at his best. But then, if we're talking just tournament matches, he can just pull off amazing stuff, man. I honestly see him in the top 5 for sure.
Thanks, man.
I would also like to point out, before we now move on to, poking everybody else about their opinion, my little opinion about Transit, the only problem, as I was establishing yesterday, is holding the spawn is not an option. Especially against a heavily aggressive team.
Yeah, true.
Because you ended up doing the same thing that happened to Nice Guys yesterday. You ended up holding yourself into the spawn. You had the ghost in one of the rounds for your advantage, but even then, it doesn't matter. They effectively locked down one of the exits was the dead pack, so even there was no way of actually coming out late. And I pretty much think that was what in the end shot your own leg.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta establish more dominance by being more aggressive, and if, for example, Wahaha would have pushed up with you or Mugi here to at least try to get a bit of a hold outside on the main lane, it would have been an easier time for you to at least get points in, increase your firepower, and then maybe strike back. If you start holding yourself in, they just get time to fortify, smoke you out, lock down any position, move up with the ghost to call your positions out, stuff like that. So, aggressive playstyles are countered best with aggressive playstyles.
Yeah, for sure. Totally agree on that. Yeah, we should have moved further. We should have gained more parts of the map. Yeah, ultimately in transit, I just dislike transit. I don't know why. I just suck at it. But yeah, we actually decided to go with transit as the second map to just, you know, get the worst out of the way first. But that might have not been the best of ideas. I mean, either way, we would have still had to play transit if it was tied in 2 maps. So there was no avoiding transit. If we had won the second map, there was pretty much no avoiding transit. If we had played tarmac instead of transit, we would still have to face transit. So yeah.
So moving on to other players besides Deep Frog saying it felt nice winning,
Nice.
and yeah, and Crystalline giving a bit of an input here. What about the other players? Any thoughts, any feelings you would like to, you know, throw out there, throw at other people?
It's
Now's
quite a
the time.
shame when the server crashed.
Yeah,
that was kind of
definitely.
sad.
we
What
were
happened?
blessed with floating guns that were too strong to handle. Those floating guns were pretty much the highlight of the match.
What
because
the
that was
fuck
the
was
most.
that?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I saw
know.
that.
Those are hilarious.
It started off with a Kyla just floating in front of Zippy, and I thought it was a one-time thing, but then the MX started just.
Yeah.
As soon as somebody walked over an MX silence, it was
Yeah,
right
like
in their face,
magnetized to
just
them.
floating around, and I would say MVP goes to guns that laid on the ground because they killed the server. Not only did they like effectively kill players or a team, they killed the whole server, and they killed my game twice. So
Oh man.
yeah, regardless of the player's performance in this case, the guns were the true MVP, and
I definitely agree with that.
that's something I would just have to add from there.
Yeah. No, but as far as the top 5, I mean, Olio's in there, for me at least. Frog is in there, Sakana's in there. Who else? I don't know. Is the Snob still play?
Not
Uh,
really.
Not a lot.
not really.
I don't think.
Let's not fixate on the top
Snob's
5 players
insane.
right at this moment, though. We can get back to that in a second, but let's actually
Yeah.
roll through the other players to get their opinions out as well.
Yeah, so the top 6 through 10, you know, they are also pretty good.
Come on. Now that you actually brought your word out, let's keep you talking. You did some
Alright.
aggressive play styles on Oil Stain. You actually started off pretty lively here. What made you kind of back off in transit? Why did you not keep that playstyle up?
Well, to be honest, I thought that I was starting to lose the 1v1s. I wasn't getting the shots in that I thought. Like, a lot of the times, like, I would have the Supa and then I would do 96 damage or, you know, a high 60 damage, and that was kind of hard for me. I mean, if you miss those, then your team's down, and then it's a 2v1 for your team. So I tried to stay a little bit more defensive to try to support the team, but again, like you said on transit, that's not something you want to do, is play defensively.
I
You
was
want to be
about
very
to counter
aggressive.
argument by saying, even though if you go down in the attempt to push, it's not much different than like holding yourself in a defensive spot and just getting pushed anyway. So, like I said, yesterday was nice, guys. There's a lot of room with experimentation if you're starting to come into the spot where you feel like you have nothing to lose, because that allows you to just, you know, try out and either end with the same result anyway, or actually turn around the match. So, to everybody who's coming up with transit and you feel like you're, you know, being pushed back, apply more aggression. Just try to go even harder, mix up the classes, try to figure out what's best. Pick them off they trying to be faster than them, which can be very troublesome when facing somebody like Deep Frog, because, man, if you got your bunny hobs down and they looked very solid most of the time, yeah, it can get hard. But it's still worth trying, because even if he's aggressive, he might not expect you to push a choke point that early, like earlier than you've been doing in the past rounds. So that out of the way, let's just pick Mugi here, murking for the team. You were on worst NT, which have been eliminated by Smelly Skanks, and now you have been on Panko Manko. I just had to quickly peek there, I'm sorry. Once again, sadly losing. Do you feel like that crushed your morale a bit, or are you still in good spirits?
Nah, I'm good. I'm still in good spirits.
Oh, your microphone is a bit staticky for some reason. Not sure what's going on there.
Is it any better?
Ah, there we go.
That's better now.
Okay. I mean, I'm still in good spirits.
That's good.
I wish I could have done more for Panko Manko.
Being a merc for the team, how does it feel just having to be in a position for people that you probably didn't have much time to prep with?
It's a lot different playing with them, like versus Scriber and Tentacle or Alice. Like, I'm a lot more used. I'm a lot more used to playing with Scriber.
Oh, the static is attacking.
Oh no.
The attack of the static.
Yeah, I think my
But yeah,
mic is
go on.
My mic's a little fucked up. I mean, I'm more used to playing with Scriber and Tentacle. Like, I know more like their habits and stuff when they play. I think I need more time to play with Crystal and Wahaha to.
Yeah, there was
really-
very little time for us to prep, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just how it goes. So
Maybe it's also one of the factors why things ended the way they went, because having somebody you are not used to communicate with, or at least know like the playstyle of, it can be a bit troublesome to adapt.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to tailor around
I would-
someone you don't know too well.
I would just consider that another factor that could have turned out differently if you had somebody from the Panko Manko set lineup to play with instead. Do you actually have a backup, or are you just 3 people?
no, I mean initially we were just it was me, Devastator, and Waha. Then Devastator left. He said he couldn't do it. Then it was Operator Waha. Then Operator couldn't do it too. Then I was sort of asking Stealth and Moogie at the same time, and Scriber, but Scriber had an issue that he couldn't attend today, and since I didn't want to like force the other team to reschedule, and I was like, okay, Moogie can come because Moogie had the he could attend. Stealth didn't. I was actually talking to them both actually, but I don't know. I think I left and then I talked to Moogie, and then we settled on Moogie. But yeah, I understand the whole thing of you being used to other players, people. Sometimes that can have an effect. Yeah, and I do see Moogie and Scriber play all the time, and when they do play together, they play awesomely. So yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the synergy in the end, and it probably also was, like I said, a bit part with how stuff went, and maybe decisions would have been more active if there wasn't maybe there's a bit of a inconsistency in trying to figure out how to play with each other. That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
But
No, go ahead.
yeah, I
go
get
ahead.
that. Actually, that out of the way, I should just move on to just pull Olio out here for a moment, because he's the only one that hasn't given input besides Sippy, but he also said nice twice, so I will keep him for
I
last.
rarely hear Olio talk. I think was this the first time that I heard him talk? I'm not sure.
Could be, but that's also the reason I'm going to pull him out here, because my question to you is, you seem to be the sneaky kind a lot. You started sneaking around, try to find a way to get up from behind. Was that intentional? Was that based on communication, or how did that work out?
My playstyle.
Just your
I don't know.
playstyle.
Yeah.
So there
I'll
was
try
nobody
to
just
adapt.
trying to give you the idea of like, okay, I keep them occupied, you try to come up from behind. You just kind of did it yourself.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It worked out a lot. It was very interesting to look at because, for example, Deep Frog would come in and spice it up, or last time it was Zippy keeping, I think it was Clusteline in check at the stairs, and then you would just pop up from the other corner and finish him off.
Yep.
Very successful sneaking attempts there. So maybe you're just being Venom Snake without knowing. And with you keeping it brief and simple, I like that. I'm gonna move on to Sippy. Anything else you would like to throw at there? Just saying, instead of saying nice.
I mean, I did mention it was a shame when the server went down.
Okay, that's fair enough. And you mentioned that
But,
you had the Kyla floating in front of your face, yeah. But mostly about
that
like,
was really spooky.
yeah, but mostly about like, I don't know, certain rounds, certain moments where you were like, that were weird, something like that. Besides the guns.
Yeah, I tried to generally keep the rear and like make sure that people weren't flanking Deep Frog and Olio as they pushed up.
Hmm.
And I think that worked out pretty well for me since I was playing the support.
Yeah, you seem to be the intel kind of guy. You picked up the ghost a lot. You kept an eye out for, you know, where they're at, which most of the time to spawn, unfortunately so. But you were keen on giving the info, and you also did some good distractions for Olio to actually pull up and finish them off.
Yeah, exactly. I can tank more damage than he can, so.
Also, what's up with you and the boxes on Oil Stain? Whenever you spawned on the site where the boxes towards the party area are, you would just, you know, hug them all the time. You
Yeah, I
seem
think
to
that was
love
part of
those a lot.
my like staying behind and trying to prevent flanks through the shop. But once Deep Frog or Olio got far up, I'd try to push up through the shop.
I mean, it's a very good pick to, you know, cover the party area as a support because all it takes is one or two smokes and it's completely covered off. So I can see that being the way to go. It just looked very funny because you always hug the very same box at the very same point.
Yeah.
Every round.
Routine, I guess so.
Other than that, very good plays because both teams were quite aggressive on Oil Stain. So, and even though people might start to think I'm just saying it for saying it and to not drag any team down, I would say if some things weren't the way they were, it could have ended up as a very equal match.
For sure, I agree with I think the key point here is that one thing you said initially a couple minutes ago, which was, you know, aggressive play is essential against aggressive play, because I think the more positions you have control over, you know, the more probability of winning you'll have. Because, you know, if you don't move forward, if you keep staying back, the other team then has a chance to push forward, and then you're kind of cornered. And unfortunately, that's what I did in transit. I just was way too afraid to move forward. I should have pushed, I didn't, and you know, they gained positions. And I love that little move that Olio did, where I think it was Olio. No, I think it was Zippy. I saw Zippy go into corridor to office in transit, and then he drops the dead pack. And then I check, and I see the dead, and I'm like, "Fuck, I can't go there."
Zippy didn't have any dead packs. He wasn't support.
Oh,
it
right.
was always Deep Frog handling all the dead pack work.
Right, and then it was a great distraction because I was so focused on office being blocked off that I didn't see Olio come from behind me. And you know, it's moves like that, like those that play a good part. You know, it's you controlling certain key points of the map. So it's basically just strategizing and just doing, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy. I was really happy about the fact that Deep Frog utilized the dead packs more than any team before. Because he tried dead rushes, like you initiated dead rushes, Deep Frog. You were successful with 1 or 2, as I recall. And you used the dead pack to actively lock down lanes, which also hasn't happened in any other match yet. I mean, we saw dead pack usually planted on the ghost for a safe call for when it's picked up, but you used it quite differently from any other recon in the matches so far. So I would like to just, you know, address it as a general thing, as a good example that, you know, deading the ghost is good, but trying out something else like that can prove itself useful as it did in this match, because it effectively locked out one way to go until Deep Frog was dead, and it also distracted them. So if you utilize it, actually used it also to, you know, fake drops. So yeah, you also tried to cause commotions using your knife and stuff. You were very creative with sound and like stuff like that. So yeah, good job. I'm pretty sure you inspired a few teams to try out something new there. At least I hope so, because there's no reason to, stop with what you have and try to refine it. There's always room for trying out new stuff while you can. On that note, I'm pretty sure we went through all players now. If there's anything else you would like to point out, now's the time. Otherwise, I would leave this to prep for the next match.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more of Olio's legendary voice.
If you have a good reason for him to talk.
No, I don't know. No, I mean, yeah, I guess, get the feeling that some players didn't or do you guys want to give more input, or?
Who shot the vent on Transit? I don't remember which round it was.
Yeah, that was
Because
Deep
that was
Frog.
a really good bit of distraction there. Like, I totally thought, oh god, Deep Frog's Russian balustrade. Oh, we are not watching. Everyone run back to the spawn. Like, that worked surprisingly well.
That was the idea.
Mind games.
So Conlon
It's mind
told you
games.
that Transit was fun to watch.
Yeah, that was some really good play on Transit from their side. Like, they forced us into a corner. That was really good on them.
Who is that? To who is that addressed to? Who's Sakan telling this? I'm confused.
To you.
Oh, to me. Oh, cool. Well, I'm not sure if it was the casting or the play, but thank you anyway.
Probably both.
Maybe my casting wasn't that different from the first match because I was a bit thrown off and off guard from that crashing. It kind of took the wind out of my sails there. But I guess I will have to steel my nerves for some, crisis prevention in the future.
Yep.
I can definitely say it would have helped us.
Yeah, maybe. Keeping you cool, especially as a player, is so important, especially when you're down by yourself.
Oh yeah,
There's
it's
always
so
the
easy to get
burden.
psyched out.
I mean, there's always the burden of, the other people are relying on you winning the round, but there's no point, at least I look at it this way, there's no point in getting extremely nervous if you know that you haven't scrapped your limits yet. If you know that there's more room to, give more you got, it's even more important to keep you cool because otherwise you won't reach it. If you start getting nervous, there's that sort of barrier to the last, I would say 10 to 15% for you to just get all out of it. So if you start managing to keep you cool, and I'm pretty much saying it like it's super easy. I know for myself and personal experience that it's not. In past tournaments, I've been sweating bullets all the time. But
Oh yeah, me too, man. Like, I
Whenever-
play really comfortably in typical scrims, but in tournaments, I'm so nervous, dude.
yeah, whenever you are at the point where you might feel like you're starting to get a bit of an adrenaline rush and you get nervous, you gotta somehow find a way to keep you cool because otherwise you might come into that lock of, for example, playing too defensive or not taking risks anymore because you feel like the risks would fuck up the team even more. But that's, like I said, the point where you gotta start experimenting, start trying, and if you have this moment of success, right, of a successful push or something else you tried to work with that was something you didn't try before, it will boost you. It will calm you down as well, and then you can start maybe pull up a backup strat to apply to the other two players by just figuring out, something they didn't see because they were dead already. So yeah, like I said, keep experimenting, try to keep you cool, and magic will happen.
Yeah,
Let's just put it
hopefully.
like that. Other than that, I'm pretty sure we concluded everything that was in question, unless somebody now comes up with another thing they would like to add.
How did both teams feel about the recon pressure?
The recon pressure, I can say,
Well,
from Deep Frog's rushes was really kind of key to, I think, our downfall on Oil Stain. It was something that would just throw us off because we didn't know which lane he was going to rush from. Like, I could maybe get him sometimes, and then he would go the other way, and then I would get shot from behind, or I would try to help the guys that were being rushed by Olio or by Deep Frog, and then I would get shot by Olio from behind. So it was really hard to counter the rushes because everyone else was also playing aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Very
still tried,
chaotic.
dude. I saw you in transit. There were a lot of aggressive pushes by you, so you did really well, Waha. In terms of just being aggressive, right? You pushed. I didn't push. I stayed in spawn. I was like, it's the whole thing producer was saying. It's the fear of taking risks, and then it ends up hurting.
In terms of aggression, Oil Stain was very funny because it seemed like a lot of times with both teams being so aggressive, it was very chaotic and it was hard to keep up. Because the first few rounds just went by with Wahaha being very aggressive towards the other team, Deep Frog just trying to weasel his way to the other team, and then they clash into each other, whereas the other members just randomly had encounters as well, just sort of battling it out one by one for the first few rounds, or
Evenly
just coming in
trading
as a cluster.
first couple of rounds. It was great.
Yeah. I noticed early on in Oil Stain that it was a lot of 1v1s rather than like a more 3v3 kind of match. And I think as time went on, I think Diamond Busters really started playing more like a team, like doing more ghost calls, sticking together. And I think that was something that we really couldn't counter as much because we weren't as practiced as them.
Oh, so that's what the letters stand for?
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what is your team name? The whole team name, like without
Former
being
Diamond Busters.
Oh, okay. Is it a reference to something, or was it just?
We got it from our random name generator.
What the...
Well, I mean, I was
Nice.
thinking maybe because Deep Frog used to win a tournament before, that he is the former Diamond Buster, as in, like, I don't know, crashing in and wrecking shit.
Nah.
That's what I thought. But, yeah. Guess
About
I
the
was
recon
wrong.
pressure, I did notice a lot of pushes from Crystalline and Waha over both matches that would just like run straight into me since I was so far back.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
played
definitely.
it safe. I played it really safe, but way too safe in transit. I didn't move at all because I was afraid of just, taking. It's like producer said. Producer nailed it. I was afraid of taking risks. I was like, okay, so if I push, I may gain this position, right? But I might get a kill, so I'm just gonna stay back. And that's just not the way to do it. You got to fight aggression with aggression. It's just how producer put it.
Yeah, I just think in terms of Zippy, you started beating me really hard at the end. Like, I started getting spanked in those 1v1s when I tried to rush, and because usually what I do is I try to rush, get to their spawn, and then I try to move backwards, try to flank you from behind. But since you were guarding the rear flank, I would just run into you each time, and it would be shotgun versus MX. It can go either way. It's a very hard battle, and you started winning those 1v1s. So, I mean, I was, not to insult you here, but I was worried more about Deep Frog and Olio in this match, and I think you definitely
everyone was.
really surprised me here by kicking my ass as hard as you did.
Thanks, I guess.
Nah, man, I was like, I knew we were gonna face up against a strong as hell team, so it was. But yeah, I'm super proud of what we did in Oil Stain though, initially, because we managed to give them a run for their money. At least in the first few rounds, it was chaotic, but it was fun, dude. It was fun pushing and getting a couple kills here and there. Yeah, Oil Stain was heaps of fun.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
just
this
sucks
is
that
my.
the server crashed though.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is my first tournament, and we had a really good first run. I mean, I think I did fairly well, at least in the first match. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
I'm kind of excited for next year.
If there were, or the 10 years after that, because it depends on how long it takes for them to organize a tournament. So yeah, maybe next year, maybe next 100 years. We'll never
One
know.
every 100 years. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end this moment of the interview, I suppose.
Absolutely.
sounds good.
Very good bottom line. So might as well just cut it from here. I'm pretty sure if there's still room to discuss, there will be a place to do so. I'm pretty sure we will have a lot of post discussions after most of the tournament is over anyway, so stuff will be unraveled often as comparisons and stuff and whatnot.
What are the two teams? Are there two teams playing after us right now, or a couple of?
Yes,
Yeah,
the next team that will be coming
30 or
up.
40 minutes.
Yeah, the next team
It's,
will be coming up is True Love Gang Gore Cops and Uncertain Love Triangle.
So is wait, is it Tenga?
No.
Oh, those
No,
guys
it's
are already played. Yeah,
TLG,
yeah.
Gore Cops, and Uncertain Left Triangle.
Okay, so uncertain beans is an uncertain, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And who are the members of the Gore Carps?
Osaka,
Gore
Sala,
Cops.
and Lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after that, we will have Dance Floor Arsonists and Team A and B facing each other at 10 p.m. GMT on Sunday. So the whole weekend is basically packed with going through the first round, which is the most flawless execution we had for a tournament ever in NeoTokyo. So might as well give a round of applause for that. Up to you if you want to actually clap or not. I just want to point this out before we move on.
I'm an American.
clap.
Of course I want to clap for everything.
Freedom!
Exactly.
Hey, producer, for as long as you've been active in NeoTokyo, how many tournaments have there been? Like, you know.
I think 5.
Okay.
5 or 6. Something like that.
Yeah.
All of them were a bit up and down, uppity downy, more or less draining for certain people. And this one feels like it's still a bit, you know, all over the place with some stuff happening, but the general execution of getting the team scheduled and stuff is working very well. So my thanks go out to Chaos, because he's been doing a great job, and Server as well. Server is so on the ball with, like, writing up parts of the rules, the servers and stuff, and yeah, they're doing a great job. And then there's Mugi, of course, with us here, having the server that we're currently on. And yeah, without you folks, it wouldn't be possible. Just gotta point that out as well. So good job on stuff.
Yeah, Mugi should have totally sabotaged the server. That would have been fun.
But he did. I mean, that's when the server crashed. And oh wait, we weren't supposed to talk about that. Oh damn.
Rigged.
Okay,
Rigged.
let's not say too much now, or we might get some problems in here.
Oh,
Rigged
jeez.
it against yourself.
Don't call the cops.
I mean, I won't mention like the neon skins I had for all the NSF. You know, that's just crazy.
I'll just end the interview round at this point.
All right, GG all.
Yep, good games. It was definitely interesting to watch how things unraveled, mostly on Oil Stain, because we had the same mistake occur on Transit. Not a big deal though, because as I said, there probably will be a second tournament this year. You can forge yourself to prepare more, and then come back stronger and better.
Absolutely.
So, thanks again for coming in for the interview.
No problem. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Coca-Cola, KFC, and also Benadryl. Because Mugi takes Benadryl, or at least it was a joke we did. Does he actually take Benadryl? I don't know.
He takes Benadryl.
No, he doesn't take Benadryl. He snorts Benadryl. Come on.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. We have to
Mind
thank
his
the
pronouns.
sponsors. Oh, and of course, Kudogra. It's because his company, Kudi Incorporated, for funding the tournament.
I'm just saying, we
No
totally could have
problem.
won if we would have kept that one NeoTokyo noob that joined randomly. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
our clutch. He's actually snob.
Dude, imagine if he had been if he turned out to be great. If Mugi goes like, okay guys, I have to go, I'm so sorry. And then the guy shows up out of nowhere. And we don't know who this guy is. Then he turns out to be the unsung hero. He wins. He wins all the matches. That would have been great. It would have been a story to tell. That would have been phenomenal.
See, if we would have won, he would have released the source code. Oh no. We're never going to get it now.
Well then, now we'll be moving everyone back into the respective channels, and then I will prep myself a bit for the next match, which will be happening in 35 minutes actually.